Oh, that's the live button. Oh, that's the live button. You know what that means. Fabian perspective. Expect it, so accept it. Deja un like, comentario y suscribe. Knicks Rehab. We back at it again, soldier. We're going to talk about some things, including the fact that I don't like the fact that, did I say fact twice? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. The fact that we did not get Daniel Gafford, and it cost the Dallas Mavericks their first round draft pick or OKC's first round draft pick. I'm a little bit confused. I will be putting the link in the chat to speak to my fellow crazy Knicks fans. Deja un like, comentario, suscribe. 500 more of y'all, of my dear compadres. 500. 500 más. Seguidores, whatever the hell you say it. 500 más, 500 more, and we're right there. We meet the goal of 7,000 subscribers. 7,000. 7,000 subscribers. Let's get right into it. Your man's Gilbert Arenas is a hater. I mean, not really, but really. I mean, not really, but really. Milli Vanilli. Let's see what you have to say about the Knicks trade deadline.
Randall, OG Anunoby, and Mitchell Robinson. 2 solid vets and coming right away. Help the Knicks win. I'm not going to start with you, Gil, because I already know you don't have nice things to say about the Knicks. But can you, what message are the Knicks sending by acquiring Bogdanovich and Burks?
No, they're trying to compete. I just brought him up yesterday, didn't I? Said that maybe the Lakers should get it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and they did not. They did not listen.
So they say they're trying to compete. They're trying to, boost their roster. Some playmakers, shot makers.
Okay.
Playmakers, some guys that's known that can. So they're good. Yeah.
Good. Do you like that?
They're trying to compete. That's what our boy Kenya Martin feels like. They're trying to compete. All right. We're trying to compete. All right. He still sounds reluctant. Like, what's that face about, Kenya, man? They smoke way too much bud on him before they get on here. And like, you got to sound way too ready. Yo, listen, by the way, I got to give my compadre from Queens, New York, Stephen A. Smith, got to give him props, and ESPN, because this is such a well-produced thing right here, right? Gilbert Arenas in the show. But you see how it takes to have the right people be vibrant and like react to stuff. Come on, man. Look alive, man. Jesus Christ.
Like this trade for your favorite team, the New York Knickerbockers, your favorite team in the East Coast?
No. I mean, it's a good trade for them because defensive-minded team that just got more scoring that can help them, especially in the playoffs when things get tight. But this looks like to me that they acquired really good assets so they can try to go and push for someone this summer.
Okay.
A bigger name. They're going to go for a bigger name this summer.
Number one.
Because you got 2 guys that you can really, I got some draft picks. You got a 20-point scorer in the
Got a draft pick, 20-point score. So he's saying we're going to trade. Well, Alec Burks, we know he's not going to be traded in the summertime because he won't be here unless we re-sign him. And Bogdanovich, let's check out your Bogdanovich contrato. Wait a minute. Woo! partially guaranteed contract for Bogdanovich? So Bogdanovich makes $20 million next year, and he has a partially guaranteed contract the following season. Wow. Los Knicks. That's right. He's never been on a team like this. Imagine if Gilbert Arenas led this team, we would be in an abyss. Los Knicks, what's going on? Bojan Bogdanovich. So he has $20 million, and that's part of that is what we're paying this season, right? Because obviously we're already more than halfway into 2020, the 2024 season, and we're going to pay a little bit less than the $20 million that's owed to him. Next season, it goes down to $19 million. $19 million, and that's partially guaranteed. So that means if he gets like cut or whatever, it's only partially guaranteed. Bohan. All right, Bohan, you a gift out here. So, and I know Alec Burks' contract is he's up this summer. So I don't know what. I think Gilbert is saying that these contracts are made for the trade that we're anticipating. Yeah, so it was a club exercised for this year. That was Detroit who exercised this year on the contract for Alec Burks. He's owed $10 million, and that won't be paid. You know, we're going to pay less than the 10, obviously. We'll owe him a little bit less than $5 million this year, and he's a free agent in the summertime. I would think, depending on how he plays and, you know, where we go towards the end of the season, hopefully, you know, he gets a roster spot.
A 12-point scorer, you can really go after a big name now.
Yeah.
That can add to that roster. That just takes him over the top.
I think Bogdanovich has got a deal through next season, but Burks becomes a free agent this season. So if they want to get up off that contract, it'll give them some more flexibility. Brandon, do you like this move for the Knicks?
Yeah, I do like it. They added some scoring. Bogdanovich, he can score. I played with him up in with the Wizards, so I like it. I like them. They can compete for sure.
Okay. And Norris, when you look at this Knicks squad,
Yo, come on, man. Like, are they seriously gonna come on this show and be high like that? Like smoke your bud and all that, man, bro. But come on, man. Like, you're on TV. Yeah, Gilbert Arenas must be paying you pretty good money, man. You guys sound like, well, yeah, I played with him in Detroit. I mean, Washington, he was pretty good and all that. But yeah. Yo, drink some liquor or something before you get on stage, Brandon Jennings. Get it together, bro. What are you talking about, man? Why is he good? Why should I look forward to him being good on the Knicks, man? You played with him as a teammate. And Gilbert Arenas, you're too scared, man. I think Brandon Jennings, he might have some hands and you scared of him. You terrified of him. Kenyon Moore and everybody's scared of him too. You guys got to at least, you know, talk to them and be willing to risk an ass whooping. Kenyon Moore could whoop my ass with ease, but I'm definitely going to pressure him into a question. Bro, Kenyon Moore, why do you think this is a great move? Where's the liveliness to this? Do you understand the level of production they have on this set? To be so, that's why Gilbert come on, man.
Does a move like this help to make them a legit?
Josiah, you too soft, man. He's got, like, ask the right questions. Energize these guys.
Threat in the East?
I think it does. When you say a threat, I think on any given night, they can give anybody a problem, and having that spacing with Bogdanovich out there is going to allow, you know, Brunson to work, you know, and if you sag off of Bogdanovich, you know, he's going to knock it down. It's going to give Randall a chance to, you know, ISO and work as well. And so, like Gil said, they're defensive, you know, Tibbs is a defensive guy. So anytime you can add scoring and take the pressure off your defense, you know, it's a win-win for you.
So Knicks currently tied with the Bucks.
Yeah, thank you, All'em CEO. Trying to be objective and cool at the same time, which is okay, but they know this topic. Gilbert Arenas is known for hating on the Knicks. You know, it's like, and I get it, they don't care, but they be caring about stuff that really they put extra sauce on. Like when Kenyon Moore was talking about, you know, Kobe Bryant, like, I don't do that. I don't put them in the, yo, bro, so what are you on the show for? What are you here for? Josiah, how tall is Josiah? Like 6'2", 6'4". His pops is Marcus Johnson. Go out there and try to get your ass whooped, man. Jim Rome, all these guys want to be Stephen A. Smith, Jim Rome. They want to be like them, right? And you guys are supposed to be tough. You've been crying about all these reporters and journalists being gatekeepers, or they're gatekeepers. This is why. Because y'all don't keep it real about stuff we want to be real about. You want to pick and choose, and we'll get to Steven Jackson in a second. You guys pick and choose who you want to talk about and be cool with. Like, no, talk that talk. If you feel like the Knicks can't make the championship, we're not going to make it deep to the playoffs, say it with your damn chest. You scared of the Knicks fans. Calling y'all out. Gilbert, you want no parts of us. I'm glad you standing down. Because if you stand up, we're going to fry you like we did Stephen A. Smith. Fake A. I don't try not to curse. I want that bag, baby. Trying to pay some people off.
For third in the East, Gills, you alluded to. This season, Knicks got OG Anunoby, Bogdanovich, and Burks without giving up a first-round pick. Leaves the door open to land another big star this offseason. You talked about this for a while, and the Knicks, no disrespect to Jalen Brunson, all-star, really climbing those ranks. But are the Knicks finally ready to become a championship-level team again?
Why can't you just
There we go. I don't like, put some more bass in your voice, Josiah.
deep playoff team?
Yeah, like
you just go like this, just
boom,
just right out the gate, just from
Contender, champion, whatever. Championship level. There's a level they don't got to win it.
Eastern Conference
They
Finals.
at that level.
Threat, man.
It's not even so much for this season, but looking ahead to next season as well. If they have that flexibility, try to make the move for a big superstar.
No. This is a real step. This is a real positive step, in the organization, because these are moves that when they did have talent, they didn't know how to offset it and bring in real extra team players. So right now they have like really, really good talent, right? Where they can, with Bucks doing what they're doing, because they got Doc. So,
What that mean?
We got Doc. So therefore,
We got Pat Bev. We got Pat Bev.
I know, but you still got Doc.
still got Doc.
Oh, Brandon Jennings is a Bucks fan. That's crazy because he got drafted by them.
You still got Doc. That's just
You calling him Doc though, Glenn? That's a step in the right direction.
So what ends up happening is if you face them in the playoffs, your chance and heightens with all the extra scoring you got, because he don't know how to guard that shit. Doc can't guard that.
Listen. I know that move they just made, but this year they're gonna have to make another move to try to beat the Bucks. The Knicks.
No.
If we see the Knicks,
You think the Knicks
if the Knicks can beat the
What?
Bucks.
Beat the Bucks now.
No,
With,
they
just
cannot.
As long as Giannis is healthy and Dame is healthy,
Steve, relax. Steve, you got a coach shirt on. Relax.
what I'm saying is, you just added 30 points on your defense. They have a defensive team. You just added 30 extra points that you can try to mix into your lineup going against a coach who destroyed his offense and still can't play defense.
There's
right?
no way in hell the Knicks are beating the Bucks if we play right now.
Oh, there we go. Love it. See? I love it. Now they ask the right question. See what you get? There you go, Josiah. Those right questions, they get the guys going. And that's when they start to sound stupid. There's no way they beat the Bucks. Brandon Jenner, have you watched the Bucks this season? Are you insane? You crazy? Zero defense. That's championship level defense. How are they going to win? They're not right within. How? You excited about Patrick Beverley? And look, Gilbert is right. We added 30 points to the bench. Now, granted, you can't just say it like that because how much did Quentin Grimes average? 12? Quentin Grimes stats, right? Quentin Grimes averaged he averaged 7. He averaged 7 for his career, and he averaged 7 for this season. Oh man. And of course, 15 points a game from IQ. So that's 15 plus the 7. 15 points a game from Emmanuel Quickly, 7 points from Grimes. So that's 22 points. Bogdanovich averages 20, if I'm not mistaken. Bogdanovich Bohan averages 20 for his career, and for the season he averaged 20. Right? So that's 5 more points than Emmanuel quickly. And who's the other guy I'm thinking of? Man, Bogdanovich and Alec Burks. Alec Burks here was averaging 12, I think it was. Yeah, 12.6. So that's 12 plus the 20. That's 32 points versus the 23 that left with Grimes and IQ off the bench. And sometimes Grimes was start. We were bugging. And of course, RJ Barry averaged 20. If we want to, include that. RJ Barry averaged 20 a game, 18 a game for his career, let's say. So that's 18 from him. And Anunoby averaged 15 for his career, and with us, he was averaging 15. So that's about 3 points less with OG as well. But think about it, OG, on the defensive end, that's where he makes up for everything. Defensively is a total upgrade with this team now, and it's also just the bolstering of I don't say the confidence, the momentum, everything of the balance in the lineup. Because now with OG to go into the lineup and everyone just feel like they're in place now, it's kind of crazy. So yeah, OG comes in there, he averages his normal 15 points a game, but he opens the floor up for Brunson, gets him easier baskets. You know what I want to look up also in a second? How many offensive rebounds we're getting a game now? Because do we need more offensive rebounds if we're making more shots? If our offense is better, why would we need, more offensive rebounds, right? And I want to say without looking, our defensive rebounding ticked up a little bit since Anunoby was there, and our offensive rebounding dropped. Because when you're that more efficient on offense, the possessions can be the same. But now all of a sudden we close out more defensive possessions and we close out more offensive possessions because they're more efficient, which makes us more lethal. I think the better I get to speak and slow down, I might sound more like a genius. Let's finish this up.
No chance. Giannis and Dame, no chance.
Can we just savor this moment though? Gil actually being supportive of the Knicks.
What I'm saying is one Doc don't know his team. He don't know he don't know his players like that. So he's not going to put them in the best situation to be successful. He don't know what schemes are run defensively, offensively. Like he just out there just chilling.
Do you gotta wait till May? Got Giannis though?
Yeah.
To beat the Knicks?
Yeah.
Bro, they'll be by May.
Listen,
by
if
May,
they play Miami first round, if Miami,
Miami's different though.
Yeah,
Miami's different though. Miami can be anybody, just about.
Now Miami could be everybody. Let's take a chill pill. Jimmy Butler's starting to turn up. It's February now, right? Jaime is out there doing this thing. Let's not act like the Heat weren't on the brink in both of those playoff series. They were on the brink the entire season. They just made the playoffs with the play-in. If there was no such thing as a play-in, they wouldn't have made the playoffs, right? We had injuries and we improved. Jaime's in there. They improved as well. I think we're dead even with the Miami Heat as far as culture, all that stuff. And even with the Celtics. It's the Celtics, the Heat are a wild card, just like the Knicks are as much of a wild card as well. I respect them with that. But what does that have to do with the Bucks?
Because of defense.
This current Heat squad.
If they healthy, they can beat just about anybody. Who going out Coach Spo?
See, that's
And Jimmy is a top 5 type player in the playoffs now.
For sure.
Top 5. Top 5's a little crazy. Top 5 scorer? Super playoff Jimmy. Okay. But what does this have to do with the Bucks? All you have is the Heat. I'll give you the Heat and I'll give you the Celtics. Who else is competing with the Knicks right now?
For sure.
Playoff Jimmy is real deal. Like
I mean,
Giannis got hurt last year.
Knicks, I mean, you're gonna have. Listen,
Well, I know that's a sore subject, B. I'm sorry about that.
The three playoff players. You know, if that series happens, it would be Giannis, Brunson, Dame, right? And we don't even know which order, but it'd be them three. You know, Brunson's gonna carry.
I'm saying, but who's the best players though? In order, Giannis and Dame, and then it would be Brunson as the best player.
Dame Lillard. What's this guy? I think he's a former Miami. Isn't that Norris Cole or something like that? Who's in the chat, man? Don't do the hate. Be honest. You be honest. You be honest. Cavs gonna have it bad for us. No, they better have it bad for us. What are you talking about? If we're healthy, the Cavs are done again. They're out of here. Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell don't fit. Darius Garland's gonna come back and they got to deal with that. They better prepare for that first. That's what we've seen us at our best. The Cavs, they had a nice run in January, just like we did, but they didn't have this. Chill out, Skilo. Coaching and preparation is more important than what regular season stats don't really matter in the playoffs. Can't say that. It's indicative, bro. If there's an indication, like with Julius Randle, we go, okay, what the hell is that in the playoffs, Julius? What are you doing? If in the regular season you do this, we look at the playoffs and you do that. Don't tell me that regular season stats don't matter when we're expecting Julius Randle to perform at a certain level because of what he's done in the regular season. There is no expectation if he fails in the playoffs all of a sudden, right? There's no failure in the playoffs if the expectations aren't created in the regular season. Skilo, you guys pick and choose when you want to use your little convictions. Either way, the Bucks are not in this conversation. Nobody's scared of the Bucks. The Bucks aren't scared of the Bucks. They know. It's Doc Rivers on the sideline. Philly's out of there. You cannot. If Embiid goes out there and thinks he's Willis Reed, he might sue Daryl Morey and the 76ers. The whole NBA might sue them for that. Right? You got Draymond coming out of his face as usual. Don't you see the rules? Oh my God, the rule changes caused Embiid his kneecap. No, Draymond. Right? Who else is formidable? The Heat are a wild card. I can concede that. And the Celtics, of course. And we can compete with the Celtics. That's all I'm saying. Because if those are the three teams in the East, and we're thinking that the Eastern Conference is our cap, of course, if you get a superstar, it puts you over to another level or another two levels, which is competing with anybody out there. Who wouldn't concede that? But the point is competing for a championship. If there's injuries out there, if that's what you prepare for, is anything you can control. And as far as the Knicks' destiny that they can control, come on, man. Well, these guys are out there. It's tough when you got a guy like OG Anunoby. He can X out Tatum and Jimmy Butler. What the hell is Jimmy Butler think he's going to do with OG on him? Skilo, let's get it together, my brother.
Players in the series.
Yes.
Two is on one team.
Yeah, two is on one team, so they might cancel each other out, and Brunson's going to be sitting there averaging about 32.
Nah.
In the play, do you know what he averaged last year?
Brunson ain't getting off on Pat Bev like that.
What?
So if
In the
Pat
playoffs?
Bev, so that means where Dame at?
Huh?
So we're
Pat Bev?
Dame at then. If Pat Bev is in trying to start Brunson, where is Dame?
Dame can't.
You're going to start Patrick Beverly. Your answer to the Knicks or anybody out there is Patrick Beverly and Dame Lillard in the backcourt? Come on, no disrespect, Pat. You like 40 years old, brother.
Whoever at the
three.
put 30.
No, whoever at the two.
But that means they ain't gonna be three if Pat Bev is in the game. See that? See?
Dame's matchup can't outscore him. Neither can Giannis.
Malik Beasley.
Oh, Brunson gonna outscore him.
Brunson gonna outscore.
Outscore Dame Lillard?
Dame?
Yeah.
What's going on, Gil? What's going on? What's going on, Gil?
This ain't Dame. This ain't Dame in Portland. This is Dame passing the ball to Giannis the whole time. And
He's
coming
still
down
averaging
doing
24.
24. Yeah.
It's going to go up.
And Brunson's gonna go up. Y'all don't see what Brunson been doing in the playoffs?
Nah, Brunson's.
Oh, we might need to rename this Gilbert Arenas loves the Knicks. It's going to go up in the playoffs. Playoffs?
No, for sure. But
Dame,
But damn.
you know, Dame take his level up a notch.
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
I know, but that was in
I was over there.
So Brunson averaged 28 in playoffs last season. Gil, I just want to take a moment.
Malik Beasley.
Knicks fans, if you were watching, I know you
you
have some opinions about Gilbert and his opinions on your team, but really savor this moment. We don't know how.
I never said Brunson was trash. I just said if he's my number.
No, you said forget about whether he's your number 2, number 1. I'm over with that one. Gilbert, what you said was Jalen Green is a superstar. That's what you said. Horrible take. That was your comparison when you said we don't have any superstars and we need to look for one. And your radar scanned the NBA surfaces to scour Jalen Green. Come on, Gilbert. So for the first time, Gilbert Arenas sounds accurate. It was fair, not because he was siding with us, but because he's saying, bro, the Bucks are bad. Like, all right, forget about how good you think the Knicks are. If you think they're formidable, now look at the opponents, the Bucks. Doc Rivers. Dame, this ain't Dame from 5 years ago. Who's gonna help him out? Who's his Klay Thompson? Patrick Beverley? That's all he's saying. And nobody's saying it. Giannis overrated on defense. I'm a Giannis guy. Overrated on defense. Brook Lopez. These are two guys constantly in the defensive player of the year categories, and they're not defensive player of the years whatsoever. Looks like they needed a lot of help from Drew Holiday, which is insane. Point of attack means way more this era than ever before. I think we can beat anybody in the East if 100% healthy, but with how Tibbs coaches, I'm not that confident. I would be mad at that if we're getting blown out in the playoffs or something like that, and by 40, 30 points, and he has Brunson in the game. He shouldn't have had Brunson against the Grizzlies at all whatsoever, because you saw what happened with the Mavs. Against the Mavericks, we ended up playing 8 guys, right? We were forced to play the way that we wanted to play against the Grizzlies. Imagine if we had that team out there against the Grizzlies and you motivated them against Memphis. Hey, guys, we're sitting Brunson. Y'all better get it together. Show them why you need a contract. The Villanova-Scova team. I want to see something from you Villanova guys, right? Why didn't he motivate them for the Grizzlies and sit Brunson down? Then he doesn't miss any time. Then you get to pick and choose who to be competitive with when it comes time to a competitive team when they show up. The Mavericks are a competitive team. We could have had Brunson out there, and the game would have been even closer. We were really missing Brunson that game against the Mavericks. So yeah, I am skeptical with Tibbs and his coaching, but Spoelstra is not totally unbeatable. I gotta think about how I was going to critique him. I forgot, but he is a hater looking for clout. Gilbert Arenas is. He wasn't hating this time though. And this time he's trolling, but other people, when they do it enough for him, when there's a good debate, he gets a sense of that's enough with a back and forth, and they can really jump on something. So, shout out to him for finally not hating on the Knicks though. I'll tell you who was hating. New York bred Kenny Smith.
Always the big question still is, do you have two guys that can play at the level of Tatum and Brown when it comes down to it? Do you have two guys that can play the way Donovan Mitchell can possibly play? Or do you have two guys on a consistent in a 7-game series? Can you match Joel Embiid and Maxey? Those are the questions that's going to either happen if Joel Embiid comes back, because the Knicks are right there. But are they able to go over the top with really on paper, just on paper, Ernie?
Yo, does Kenny Smith, they don't watch basketball games, and he's supposed to be like the super analyst of the group. What is Kenny Smith talking about? Do you have 2 Donovan Mitchells? Was one good enough last year for the Cavaliers? Kenny? Anybody out there? Was one Donovan Mitchell good enough last season in the playoffs when it mattered most? Back to eliminated by Jalen Brunson. Man, oh man. Man, oh man.
They don't have always the best player, no matter how great Brunson.
Josh Hart, please, please. If you're dribbling the ball more than twice, you're doing the defense a favor. They know this. Every single time you go doop, doop, doop. That third time, every time you go to the basket, they swipe and rip you in the same exact location in the air. Every single play. Josh Hart, you look like you're from the Bronx. You need to start acting like it.
Brunson is great. But sometimes if you look at Embiid, you look at Tatum, you're going to say those guys have proven that they have done it and done it for more than 1 year. That's the question.
Well, how good has that guy been lately? Dante DiVincenzo been lighting
It's
it up.
by committee. Can they? You know what? The other thing, Chuck, before it's going to be, can they be those Detroit Piston teams?
Yes. Well,
Can they be that and be the Laker team?
I want to say a couple things. Number one, I think the Knicks did get better.
Yes.
Because I watched them play the Lakers the other night, and all the Lakers did was take the ball out of Brunson's hand, and nobody else could make a shot. They went like 7 minutes in that game because I want to see them, but obviously they're not whole without OG.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Why Charles Barkley got to go talk some sense into you? The Alabama slammer himself. Remember, Barkley's a gambler, right? Barkley's he's been the parlay king. So he's fully aware of like what makes when teams are good, like they watch for other things. When you got money on the game, you know. And I like the fact that, I mean, they could get a little arrogant. They all get arrogant, and we all do as human beings. And am I siding with Chuck because Chuck is siding with us? As a part of it is true, but they're stuck in their convictions and their narratives. Oh, Brunson's a 1. He can never be a 1A because he's short. Kenny Smith is stuck on that. He's stuck on that forever until he's proven wrong. And then if we lose, it's like, see, that's why they lost. No. We're surrounding our players, our superstar, with the complementary pieces. That's all. OG Anunoby is perfectly complimentary because Brunson is not able to do what OG does defensively. And even if he did, you want to look for somebody who could spell you and give you time. Michael Jordan was one of, if not the best defensive player, right, of his time at the 2 guard on the perimeter. Once you add Scotty, it's like, oh, hold on. I don't got to play defense. I could take off a little bit. And I just think with Brunson, we're really adding, like I said, the pieces possible. And, you know, Kenny's just not watching the game enough, and they're stuck on a narrative, and they don't want to be wrong. And I don't understand what's wrong with being that way. Maybe I'm not in the media game long enough, right? Because I think that's a big problem that these media guys have, is that for some reason they take a position and they ride it along because you can't really confuse your audience either, it sounds like. They're going to pick you apart if you do that. And you got to stick to whatever you said, maybe for that reason, trying to shoot him some bail. But no way possible. Kenny Smith is watching Jalen Brunson day in, day out. And he was a point guard. He was a scoring point guard himself, as a matter of fact. Like, Jalen Brunson is one of the best post-up players in the game. And he's stuck on the fact of whether or not we got 2 Donovan Mitchells. He actually stated that. He sounds just as dumb as Candace Parker did. And Candace Parker, look, y'all could say whatever reasons you want to. Bring in whatever kind of outside, that have nothing to do with basketball. She sounded dumb because she mentioned the Cavaliers series that we smoked him in, and also the Miami Heat series that Jalen Brunson was killing in. And Kenny Smith sounds even worse because you're from New York and you don't know that one Donovan Mitchell wasn't good enough at all against us last season. And what was their excuse? They were fully healthy. We didn't have Julius Randle available like that. Come on, Kenny. Get it together. You know what the hell you're talking about, man. You know what the hell you're talking about. You're talking about as usual. Yo, Danny Barry was good. Kenny is delusional. Very delusional, man. Very delusional. No major media watches the Knicks, honestly, because they waiting for us to fail again so they can clown. Yeah, I think that's a part of it, too. Hell yeah, because the Lakers haven't gotten there yet where you could just pile on them and make fun of them and kick them while they're down, right? Like the lovable little brother or whatever it is. The Lakers aren't there yet. The Knicks, they know as a fan base, we go crazy and we're gonna be the ones that you can kick because we could take it, and we got to be the biggest fan base in basketball. Like, I don't care what these Lakers fans and Boston Celtics fans look like. There's no way they're bigger than us. On the East Coast, we look crazy. When we go to the Wizards games and the Hornets games, you know, people live in Charlotte from New York, in Atlanta. We got 3 or 4 different stadiums where we're just rocking. The Lakers ain't like that. The Celtics ain't got that. So they know the whole East Coast. When they clown us, to your point, Skilo, they know they're trying to trigger us. Not this season. Kenny Wild and Jalen and Julius ranked 5th in duo in scoring. Yeah, good point. Good point. And they were 2 out of the top 10 total points scored in the league at a certain point. Great point, Vaughn. Can they be the Knicks? Damn them Pistons. He's not hating. His podcast sucks. He's looking for attention. Thanks for Gilbert Arenas. I don't think his podcast sucks. I think Gilbert Arenas has one of the most entertaining podcasts. And I wish he had on, bring on Tim Legler on there. He needs to, he needs to flip that a little bit and get, more arguments that to challenge him, because Rashad McCants ain't really a challenge after a while. Rashad McCants, he's just the Hooper King himself. Nobody wants to hear that. They really don't. Kenny just a hater, bro. And I don't understand why. How can you hate on New York? Why aren't you the guy on TNT twice a week? Why aren't you the one to big up New York, you moron? You moron. We will promote that stupid party you got in Vegas better than you can. What are you doing, Kenny? Get it together. You from Left Right, man. From Queens. Shame. 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 Just shameful.
It'll help the Knicks get better, yeah.
And, of course, let's get to Kenny's compadre, Shaquille O'Neal.
It'll help the Knicks get better, yes, but it'll help them win the championship, no. So it don't matter.
We don't know that yet. The season's not over.
It don't matter.
What? Does it help you get better? Yes. Does it help you win the championship? No. Let me tell you something, man. Let me put me also on the big screen. Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal, you be saying some of the most dumbest-ish ever in basketball history. There's a reason why you agree with Rashad McCants that time. Shaquille O'Neal, Dr. O'Neal. How are you a doctor? What is it? It's election year. All they got to do is have one of these candidates. I don't want to mention their name because I ain't endorsing nobody. All they got to say is, are you siding with Shaq, the quack? That guy? Listen to what he says. He bought his PhD. That guy, Shaq the quack, is also a cop. Shaq is a cop. He's a mall cop. What are you doing, Shaq? What did you arrest? Development? Get Shaq the quack out of here. Don't you ever talk about the Knicks, Shaq. What are you talking about? It helps you win, but it doesn't help you win the championship. Shaq the quack. That's what you got to put in the hashtags from now on Instagram. Shaq the quack. What are you talking about? The doctor himself has diagnosed the Knicks as getting better, but not getting better for a championship. I'm starting to lower Shaq on these ranks, and we're going to say you're lucky that you were blessed by the graces of Kobe Bryant. We got to start reversing that, Shaq, because every time you talk, I'm starting to doubt you more and more. I'll stay out of that, Lucky Walker. But you see my visions, Lucky Walker. I hope I'm saying that right. Let's finish up with Shaq got to say.
So who are they? Chuck,
Can they beat
who,
Boston?
I mean, Shaq,
No.
who did they get?
Can they
Not
beat
get better?
Boston? Can they beat?
That's what I'm asking. Can
No.
they beat Boston?
Me and you, we talk championship. We don't talk good. Can they beat Boston? No, they cannot.
Well, we don't.
Here they go with the me and you, we talk championships. Me and you, we talk championships. Shaq, what are you talking about? What is Shaq talking about? And you know what's funny? That's why I didn't feel bad for Candace Parker that we had to go in on her, because she usually roasts Shaq. She really got her name up on TNT by roasting Shaq consecutive weeks. Week after week, she would roast Shaq. The big dummy. Shaq the quack. Luke Skywalker, my bad. Luke Skywalker visions. Shaq the quack was out here getting smacked by Candace Parker on a weekly basis. But since you want to join her in the Knicks, hate on the Knicks for no reason, I don't know who impresses you that much. Because you got Denver and the Celtics, right? And who else? The Miami Heat as contenders. They got to be 3 or 4 teams on your list. And who was in it? Exactly, bro. Every year, Boston's going to win the chip. Boston ain't winning nothing, and nobody wants to say it. All these supposed superstars and these guys on this panel talk about championships. Boston ain't winning nothing until Jason Tatum grows some cojones, grabs the bull by the horns, and takes over. Until then, he stays out of the paint. We've seen it with LeBron. We've seen it with multiple players before. They're not winning nothing. And we got the guy. We got an equalizer in OG Anunoby on Tatum's monkey, you know what.
We don't know that yet.
Can they beat Boston? Can they? No. Can they beat Cleveland right now? No. Can they beat Milwaukee? No.
How do we know that?
I like what Milwaukee.
Can they beat Cleveland? No, and he said no. What is Shaq? Again, Shaq the quack, the crip cop himself.
Milwaukee did, because
he paid.
for a fact when you play,
Shaq paid for his PhD, and he paid to get or whatever you get to become a cop. And he's up there using his celebrity to bully his way on this TNT panel, because he has no business being up there, to be honest with you. His basketball analysis is garbage.
with a guy that loves to play defense, makes everyone else play. And again, I talk about timely stops, and Dame said it. This guy likes to agitate people with the ball. So when he's out there doing that, everybody's going to want to kick in. They get a couple of stops, in important situations, everything will be all right. They're struggling out, but I think, you bring this guy who's a leader, who's a vocal leader, he's going to demand that everybody plays like him.
What the hell was he just saying for the last 50 seconds? What is he talking about? Sound like he's eating M&Ms while with the microphone on. Shaq, get it together. And I don't even speak that well. I hit the crown of my tooth. It blocks me from talking too. But Shaq the quack, I get it. You say you a millionaire. What are you talking about? That's why Kobe was mad at him, man. Because Shaq should have been the best player of all time. It should have been, bar none, should have been. But he relied on what God gave him and did not work that hard. He always talks about Barkley like that, but Barkley never had a Kobe Bryant. How about that? Shaq played with Penny Hardaway, Kobe Bryant, and D. Wade. 3 premier guards in every era. Barkley had Kevin Johnson for some time, but that was pretty much it. And I go crazy on Barkley. He's the original team hopper. But let's not forget, Shaq was a team hopper himself. You didn't get over the hump with Orlando. You were scared of Hakeem Olajuwon. He got in your head. Knock it off with these championships, bro. You weren't going to do nothing without Phil Jackson, without Kobe Bryant. Then you went to and ran to Pat Riley and D. Wade and them over there in Miami. Stop it with that. You know nothing about getting it, grinding it from the bottom up. Shaq, the quack, the crib cop himself who buys his PhDs. Get out of here. With your Arrested Development. That was hilarious. Shaq the quack is crazy. What do you think about signing Marcus Morris or Spencer Dinwiddie for injury reserves? We need big bodies, man. Marcus Morris. And we need a tough guy on Marcus Morris. I want somebody to start something, man. Start a fight or two. I want somebody to teach Julius Randle how to start a fight. Right? Spencer Dinwiddie does not shoot well enough. He'll have 1 or 2 games. He has this whole he has this aura about himself I don't like. He's Kyrie without the talent. Spencer Dinwiddie, a little bit taller. He's a taller Kyrie without the talent. You think you know it all? I'm good on Spencer Dinwiddie. Marcus Morris, we need you here to start a fight or two in the Garden. Thibodeau, enough with your boy Taj Gibson. We respect the soldier, the Brooklyn Fort Greene soldier himself. Send him home, please, and go get Marcus Morris to do what you want Taj Gibson to do. I love that, Skilo. It's good. That's a good response for injury reserves. Boston will win it again next year too. They will. They keep calling us the Dallas Cowboys of NBA fans. Might be the Celtics. Right? I saw this. I think that's JD from was that Knicks Fan TV, if I'm not mistaken. Might be Dominican too. JD said Leon Rose waited until after the trade deadline to announce the OG Anunoby surgery, which had already happened. Maybe had the OG news come prior to Knicks, may have been forced to give up more in negotiations. Leon cooking. Leon Rose is definitely cooking. Gotta agree with that, JD. If they announce the OG surgery prior to the trade deadline, it is harder to. I would think the negotiations become a little bit different. That's funny. Great conspiracy. It goes in line with the Leon Rose and these guys self-inflicted gag order. I don't know if Leon Rose would talk to the media like that anyway, but great segue because I definitely want to watch some tape on OG Anunoby. And we're not going to let this commercial play. But OG Anunoby.
Since trade,
we know we made it when my guy Ben Taylor. I like Ben Taylor. Even he's a bit of a nerd. And he started his whole revolution of gravity, which already existed, but way before Steph Curry. Way before Steph Curry was even thought of. And his pops was even thought of. There was gravity in the NBA. It's called attention. But this is his video on what makes, what's it called? Why OG Anunoby changes the Knicks.
trading for OG Anunoby, the Knicks are 12-2 with him in the lineup. They have the best defense in the league in that time with him on the floor, allowing just 100 points per possession in the 500 minutes that he's played. And let's look at why. Few defenders in the league can actually guard point guards all the way through centers, and OG is one of them. He's basically a defensive chameleon, adapting to whoever the opposing team's best scorer is and matching them. Jimmy Butler was hesitant to attack him in isolation when they matched up. Then later, the Heat wanted to get OG off of Butler by switch hunting, and that ended up in a turnover.
Oh, there goes your man, superstar Jimmy Butler, huh? Weren't we just talking about him? He's supposed to save the Heat from the Knicks and OG. He wants no parts of the OG.
This one's super impressive, starting the possession on Tyrese Maxey before switching onto the 7-foot, 280-pound Joel Embiid, and he's strong enough to hold him off and force a miss. So Anunoby's vast, so smaller, really quick guards can get by him, but for the most part, he can contain all kinds of point of attack dribblers, navigating screens and staying with them really well. And one thing he uses to his advantage is that strength, where when players drive on him, he can just move them a little bit off their path and then recover and contest really well. And he has a 7'2" wingspan, which allows him to use his length to bother opponents in all kinds of situations. Here he helps in the paint off the strong side, which most coaches don't recommend, but why not when you can recover and block the shot in the corner? Against the Magic, they stuck him on the enormous Paolo Banchero and watch him chase Banchero around, denying him from even catching the ball. And then he's also big and strong enough to bang with players like Karl Anthony Towns or Alperen Şengün in the post and take away that offense. He also uses that length to make plays in the middle of the floor, recovering really nicely to deflect this pass. And against the Raptors here, he's helping in a pick and roll action, sneaks up the floor a little bit, and then times this up perfectly. Those long arms do the rest, and it's another turnover. Similar, Kobe has a good feel for plugging gaps and popping up where he's needed defensively. He's on Gary Trent in the corner here as the Raptors get into a pick and roll. The Knicks send 2 players to the ball, so someone's wide open, but Anunoby makes a great recovery off the corner and erases it at the basket. And this allows the Knicks to play smaller and cover a bunch of ground. He stabs at the ball in pick and roll here to get the dribbler to pick it up. Dante DiVincenzo recovers to the corner nicely, then pushes the ball handler to a big man on the baseline. Anunoby slides over to pick up the cutter perfectly, and then when the play resets, he gets all the way back to the corner and just steals it.
Wow.
And I think his feel for
He's like a safety in football. Like football, a lot of with basketball has to do with like is football with a line of scrimmage, like a moving football game, right? And just the way he moves around like that is pretty amazing, man. Like OG Anunoby is just, you can see there, I don't want to get flagged. If I do, I'll just take it down on the live. But, you know, obviously Ben Taylor got a crazy following now, and just to see him acknowledge the Knicks and acknowledge OG, probably put that out right around when he went out. This is what we have to look forward to. And again, this is why I want in the off season. I think we should. Oh yeah, why not Phoenix Plays E? I don't know. Hopefully I don't. But thanks for the vote of confidence. I want Herbert Jones, man. Like I like Mikal Bridges, but I want a guy who can learn from him. Herbert Jones is the dude for me, man. Mikal Bridges is light, man. I get it. You know, Brunson and them are they're brothers, college buddies, whatever the hell. But Herb Jones is my dude. That's the guy I want to learn from OG and become this stalwart. He's shooting 39% from 3 this year. I gotta look at his shot chart. Let me see his shot chart real quick. Herb Jones, 7-foot wingspan for Herb Jones. Mikal Bridges is 7'1" wingspan. So here's Herb Jones. This is by season. Oh, we get to go? Okay. This is last year. So look, in the corner, he shot 33% and 33% on this side. A lot of his shots, 60% of his shots coming in the paint area, which makes sense. He shot 35% from here in the wing, that area. In the corner, he shot 33% last season. So let's see this year, though. Boom. Okay. The corner, he's shooting 29%. Horrendous behavior. The league average is 39%. Jesus Christ, Herb Jones. Just when I was trying to big you up, and this is what you, Jesus Louises. But he is shooting 54% from this area, the right wing. Now, that's perfect because OG shoots from this area right here, where Herb Jones shoots 30% from 3. OG shoots 48%, if not 50%. Let's look up OG. And of course, everything changes with, you know, look, this season, 48%, 48.5%. Boom. And he shoots 37 from that side, which is less than league average. So amazing. What? Would you give up 2-3 first-round draft picks for Herb Jones? Dime. Herb Jones is a better defender than OG. I'm not going that far, Plazy. OG is way better than I thought. And Herb is very young. And I know the last time I really watched him like that, it was hard for him to switch. It was hard for him to switch, but he covers a lot of ground, and he looks like he's bigger than 7 feet. I couldn't believe he was just, what is he, 6'8"? Yeah, Herb Jones is 6'8". So what's OG? 6'7". So they're both 6'8", 6'7". I like Mikal Bridges. Obviously, he brings something. That's what Dime said. OG is a much better defender. He didn't know that beforehand, though, Plazy. He didn't know OG was this good. Nobody did. Maybe you. Maybe you. I should have asked you before. That's who I should have gone to when we did the trade, man. How do you feel about RJ and IQ over there? Don't mean to rub it in. But yeah, I just wanted to watch that with OG Anunoby because he's just been beyond incredible, man. Beyond incredible. And you can see why. Also, I'll leave you guys with this. Because earlier we said they were saying how Luka and
You did.
they were saying how they didn't know what Brunson was going to be leaving Dallas. Well, that's unfortunate because apparently Luka Doncic was very aware of Jalen Brunson's talent.
Did you have any idea Jalen Brunson would be this good?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Why?
I would say one game that really was impressive on that playoff run. We lose the first game against Utah. I don't play the first 2-3 games.
I think it was the first 2, but
First 2, yeah.
we can fact check that.
Maybe 3. I don't think I played the first one.
Oh, right, because you got the win. Yeah, you stole the win and you got to sit out again.
So that second game, I mean, if we lost that second game, it would be tough to come back. We 0-2, and then we have 2 in Utah. So that second game, I think he had like 45, something like that. Like it was a tough game, and we needed a win no matter what. And that game was really impressive. I was just on the bench watching, like, wow, this guy's amazing. But just starting the first we got together, like the way he worked out every day, coming back in the afternoon, it was just amazing to play with that guy.
Did you have any idea Jalen Brunson would be this good?
Man, if you're Luka, I mean, you're thanking Mark Cuban a lot. Mark Cuban made, I think, $3 billion on the Dallas Mavericks flip. We kind of laughed at him for, what happened with Jalen Brunson. But they've done a great job. They got Daniel Gafford. I'm really upset about them getting Daniel Gafford for that price, and we couldn't get him. I'm not gonna lie. I think we cannot rely on Hartenstein's Achilles is hurt again. Mitchell Robinson is coming off of surgery. Julius Randle is separated shoulder. So the Mavericks did the right thing. Excuse me. I think Derek Lively may be a bit hurt for them, and they did the right thing by shoring up that front court with Daniel Gafford. He's going to be amazing for them. Athletic, with Kyrie and Luka there, easy baskets they're going to get him, and all he's looking forward to being again is those Tyson Chandler types of dudes. Block you, get an offensive rebound, get a defensive rebound, and go crazy. They really countered every one of the flaws in out west, right? The Phoenix Suns are missing somebody in the middle. Nurkic is soft. They have their best lineup is actually KD at the 5, and they got all these guards. The Mavericks got way better. But I don't want to veer off from the fact that the Mavericks had to give up that first-round draft pick or finagle their way to get a first-round draft pick to go get Daniel Gafford because they made a huge mistake with Jalen Brunson, and they know it. They know it. Like, there's no way around that. And they had a chance to keep him. Mark Cuban, you saw him out there, was chummy with our boy over here, Jalen Brunson. Nothing personal, right? Nothing personal. But he went across the stadium to make sure that he and Brunson, and Luka was there for a while talking to him. Like, you can tell when these guys, like, who respects who, and it's always love. That's always dope. But they made up for losing Jalen Brunson. Like, that was a big loss. I don't care what they say. You would have had 4 more years of a younger Brunson who was just a professional. You know, Kyrie Irving, they can say whatever they want to say. He's still a question mark, and he's super injury prone. You know, Jalen Brunson, 27 years old, 26. He might be injury prone. He's missed a couple games so far. Little guys are going to be prone to all that, of course. But the professionalism, that how this guy approaches the game, you know, Kyrie is more expensive, so you get more bang for your buck with Jalen Brunson from every sense of the word. Western Conference Finals, they know that was a miscalculation. So for Luka to say that, I don't know if he's lying or not, but he has no reason to lie. He could have easily said, like, nah, I didn't see this coming, man. Like, I really didn't. But this sounds like, you know, hey, Mark, you really messed this up. We messed this up, guys. Like, I love Kyrie, don't get me wrong, but we messed up this Jalen Brunson thing, man. Let's not get this twisted. I don't fear any team in the East. Jaylen Brown is the alpha on the Celtics, and KP is always hurt. The Bucks are soft and lack defense since they traded it away. I agree. Jaylen Brown is the alpha by default because Tatum is soft and he's not consistent, really. That's what their problem is. But the Xavier Tillman pickup was major for the Celtics, man. Let's not get that twisted. They're thinking about Joker. They're thinking about us. They're thinking about the Cavaliers, just getting them up out of there. Somebody who's a big guy, go in the middle. Giannis, they're thinking about Giannis. You know, remember KP is another guy who's a 7-foot stick. Pause, but they showed up that team. It doesn't matter who their coach is, man. Like, you can't get a better chance than Tatum has had his first whatever amount of years in the league. You know, it's all on him. He's young. It happens. If you're going to be a legend like that, you can't keep talking about you're a Mamba disciple and perform like this when it matters most. Because Kobe Bryant was 24 years old, 23 years old in the finals, and he went bananas. A legendary finals performance, the first one against the Pacers, right? Because it was the Pacers, the 76ers, and then the Nets. Yeah, that first one against the Pacers was major. And Shaq fouls out, and he goes nuts. And he just looked like he told the team to calm down with his Jordan, like a real direct Jordan impersonation. So, you know, he was impersonating Mike and did a great job. He pulled through. That's how great he was, but we were just like, damn, this guy's good. Jason Tatum, not saying he hasn't had great performances in the playoffs, but it's just, you know, something's missing with him. Surgery doesn't always get performed right away. Just my assessment. I'm no doctor. The Leon waiting until deadline pass makes for a good conspiracy. It does. So you're saying you're just as good as a doctor as Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq the Quack himself. That's what you're saying, one back doodle. But at least you admit I'm no doctor. Well, neither is Shaq the Quack. But he wants to come out here and talk about he had a PhD and talk about the Knicks like that. And he got lucky that he had Kobe Bryant, D Wade, and Penny Hardaway in his career, or else Shaq wouldn't be nothing. You know how many times Shaq got swept out the finals or swept out of the playoffs? Shaq the Quack himself. One bag. I appreciate you being honest. One bag, doodle back. A week, then a week of All-Star break, then another week. Then we see on OG, who knows, maybe Randall is really close. Yeah, man. We're hoping, because this will be just to have everyone as close to full strength as possible for a playoff run where we can imagine a championship. We couldn't imagine that before. There was no realistic chance at a championship. We never said that in the last, even with Carmelo. You had the Heat there, and then the Pacers snuck in there because Melo wasn't an all-around player, right? Because if he was, that changes everything versus the Pacers. Because then you can compete with Paul George, who just rolls out of nowhere. So we haven't had a realistic chance at a championship in 25 years. And this season, we can actually imagine it. Whether you think anybody who's watching thinks we're crazy or not, we know basketball. If you lend your ears to the older Knicks fans, we know what this feels like. Shout out to my guy Allen. He texted me going crazy after that trade yesterday. Crazy to be able to score off the bench like that now. to give Leon Rose. You have zero excuses to have a 9-man rotation now at full strength. 10-man rotation, Tom Thibodeau. Zero excuses. Alec Burks is your guy, and we got Bogdanovich who scores 20 a game. Big 6'7", fully loaded guy. Zero excuses. Don't want to hear it from you. We don't want to see that. We don't. We don't need to see Jalen Brunson on. No. Leave him on the bench if we're up 15, 20 points. We need our guys for the playoff for this championship miracle run. Stay focused. Knicks at full health will be unstoppable. We played like it. When did we play the Cavaliers, man? Knicks. Because February 24th, we played the Celtics. Knicks versus Cavaliers. We lost to them on the 1st of November, and we beat them by 18 on October 31st. Back-to-back games. I forgot all about that. And the next game is March 3rd in a couple of weeks. So that's a week after, a little over a week after we play the Celtics. So that week's going to be incredible. That week's going to be incredible. Mitch, Bohan, and Burks coming off the bench. Opponents not catching a break. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Just need them at full strength. Prayerfully. These guys don't have a clue what they're talking about. Let's go Knicks. Correct, Mel. Mel, what's going on, Mel? You won't get flagged. That's right. Because the content is meant to be viewed. They only flag if you try to clipping NBA games yourself. Ben Taylor content is meant to be reacted to. Damn, really? I should have been ready to that then. Phoenix. That's if everybody needs to get back. Randall and OG may not even be back. The Knicks could be fooling us. Cameron Goldberg. Hold your horses. We have life's of the party, and then we have party poopers. You starting to smell like one of the two. I'm just letting you know. Chill out. We've never had a chance to talk like this. We haven't had a chance to speak on this like this for some time. Cameron. Easy. Let us deliberate. Let us be fans. Stop trying to be a fan cop. Stop being a fan cop. We know how this goes. We're from New York, at the water cooler, at a bus stop, waiting on a street corner, in front of the bar, getting in line at the club. Anywhere, a Knicks conversation, argument could pop the hell off. That's what we do. We got to show these other fans who the smartest fan base is of all time. Of all time. This is how we do it. You can have that statement. You can make that statement. And we can respectfully disagree. And move on. Yeah, I'll be fair to Dime. OG been like this since 2020. RJ has been freaking awesome. 23-5-5 on 55, 39, 78 splits. Yeah, but I lied. RJ is averaging 55, 39, 65 splits, 21, 4, and 7. Still really good. My only issue with RJ is his defensive effort sometimes. Oh, you don't say. And I would love for you to answer, Phoenix Plazy. What do you think of the Toronto direction? I'm not really sure. I know did they just give up a pick? And they got something from Utah. Did they give Utah a first-round draft pick? And the RJ thing, now do you see what we're talking about where he's a third option? If that. You can see how RJ becomes a bench player, a six-man. And what do you think about quickly? 32 minutes instead of 25 minutes a game is a little bit different. Kind of getting exposed out there. And maybe it's tough playing with Scotty Barnes that way. Because Scotty really isn't the point forward type. He kind of ball stops a little bit, takes him a little second more to get it off. And he has like a doofy way, clumsy way of getting rid of the rock. What does the OG extension look like in the offseason? He's probably pushing mid-30s in terms of money, right? It could be, man. We know he's I think it's a player option, right? OG Anunoby contract. Yeah, player option for 19 million. So he's gonna opt out. You have to opt out if you're OG. I mean, he's never had like what he did not right now was masterful for him. This is masterful on his end and his people, which is CAA, right? It's a win-win scenario for him. There's no reason for you to go anywhere else. And I don't want to say mid-30s. I'd say mid-30s. Hopefully they have like a balloon type of contract where it gets to the mid-30s eventually. But as of right now, pay him somewhere in the ballpark that IQ was going to get paid, like a 6-man, I guess. But you're going to have to do a balloon type of contract because these TV contracts are about to go in place. You see all these moronic companies just got together, ESPN and Fox and these guys all linked up to have a streaming app on all one streaming app, by the way. I don't know if you guys heard. They don't even talk about it. They don't broadcast this. ESPN, TNT, all these guys got together, Fox Sports, to have a one-stop shop streaming app, which is dope. But you basically created the NBA app. If I'm the NBA, do I really need Disney at this point? None of these guys have spoken to Vince McMahon, which they don't want to right now, but they need to speak to WWF for one reason, somehow or another, because they got one of the best apps of all time. I don't even watch wrestling anymore, but when their app came out, you could search for any single wrestler and watch all their highlights. Imagine doing that on an NBA app. They don't do that now. The NBA app kind of sucks. On NBA.com, if I go to the player, I could go click on their field goals and I could watch every single field goal attempt for that game from that player. You can't do that on the app. It's 2024. You're clearly trying to funnel people to the internet and funnel people to the different channels, the different ESPNs and the TNTs. But it is what it is. Fabian, they have Kyrie Irving. I think they'll be all right. For how long, though? He's missed 20 games already. Jalen Brunson has not missed 20 games. And they made all these trades to make up for the fact that they were going after Kyrie. I'm not sure if Kyrie's not better than Jalen Brunson, as a matter of fact. Like, come on now. They need wings. OG on Dallas will be nasty. Phoenix, watch your mouth. Why would you say that? Cameron, the Knicks fooled us this season. We went from a 4th seed to a play-in team. Dolan is the worst owner of all time. Cameron. Are you old enough to drink? Are you old enough to smoke? You need one of the two items and ingest them. That's all. Nobody fooled us. We were in limbo earlier in the year. We were not this good defensively. We were 18th in the league with a Tom Thibodeau as a head coach. And all of a sudden you get OG, you give a defensive coach, a defensive player, a super defensive player, and voila. What happens? Number 1 defense in the league. Not an accident. We smoked Denver. We smoked Miami. We smoked the 76ers. Celtics coming up February 24th. They're lucky we're not healthy. Knock it off, Cameron. Saying Jaylen Brown is the alpha of anything is so nasty, man. He's not even an all-star level player this year. What is it with Jaylen being gassed? I've never seen someone with no left hand gassed. You got Dominique Wilkins. Damn, the fact that he got that contract, Phoenix Plazy. He got that contract and he's not even an all-star this year is hilarious. I need a laugh button. I need my own personal laugh button because my laugh is kind of exhausting, I noticed. I'm going to press that every time I see something like that. That's a great comment. We get to laugh at the Celtics fans. You paid $400 million for this guy? Too many on and off years with the Knicks. I've had enough with the losing. Too inconsistent. Inconsistent. We've been consistently garbage. what are you talking about? Phoenix, Fabian, chill out, man. Tatum played through a fractured wrist in 21-22 postseason. Okay, after that, last year, what happened to him? They let the Heat beat him. They were down 3-0 to the Heat. Come on, man. Come on, man. And then when they beat the Bucks, that was great. But he really lapsed against the Golden State Warriors. That whole team let Draymond punk them. He should have yammed it on Draymond. He needed to play bully ball. He doesn't have it in him. Doesn't have it in him. We have no shot at a championship this season with the injuries. Cameron, you really need to ingest some drugs and calm down. This year, hopefully you're all of age too. And I'm joking, by the way. I'm not promoting that. But when you sound this depressed at life, they prescribe drugs for you. This year's Knicks team equals 2019-2020 Heat, a really scrappy, dark horse finals caliber team. No. The Heat did not have, I mean, Bam was really good, don't get me wrong, defensively. But I don't think he did what OG Anunoby did. But you know what? I spoke too soon. You're right, Phoenix plays E. We are a scrappy, dark horse team. Is the horse so dark, though? Is the dark horse dark anymore? Did we lose a bit of our tan? Huh, Phoenix? Do you think we're going to the buyout market? Somebody just asked that for Marcus Morris and or Spencer Dinwiddie. Keep Spencer Dinwiddie away from us. You could keep him in his Bitcoins. He can stay away. Who's available on the buyout market, by the way? Give me a list. Get Lowry. Tibbs loves him. Does he? I think Lowry would be cool. I like that. I like it, even though he kind of sucks. He hits big buckets, and to have him against the Heat would be cool. To have him, well, Toronto's not going to be in there, but you know, we need that guy again. Scrappy, dirty player. Lowry's a dirty man. You know this. Phoenix plays E. Dirty man. Again, bring in Marcus Morris. Bring in Kyle Lowry. We need dirty business out here. We have like 4 picks in this draft, so we traded one of them. Clippers pick, so like pick 29 for Olynyk and Abaji, young wing from the Jazz. All right, Olynyk he must be on his last year of his contract. Olynyk. Yeah, 4 picks in the draft makes no sense, right? That's what I thought. Like, what are they doing? But if they could trade those for something else, it will make sense. But I just don't like how I mean, Scotty Barnes is what, year 3? I like him. He plays bigger than what he looks like too. But something's missing with him. I don't know if he's a pure number 1 guy. I don't know. He's not shy at all. He'll let me know. We can respectfully disagree. I want the Knicks to win. I'm a Knicks fan. They just pee me off. Well, I'm no longer in a position to be peed off like that, Cameron. Like with Tibbs, it's like these little things we need him to adjust. You can no longer play Brunson whenever you feel like it. You can't have those are mishaps. So we used to be so peed off because we had no chance and we were fighting and it made no sense what we were doing. But now is when we see the championship level style coaching and decision making that we see from like players on the court, right? Like we want to see that from our coaches. Leon Rose and these guys have been doing their job. I'm always big about top of the organization to the bottom. Tibbs is so big on holding people accountable. Are you going to hold yourself accountable? Because you have no reason to not have a 8, 9, 10 man rotation right now. Zero reason, Tibbs. It's all on you. Will you hold yourself accountable? Whoa, Fabian Scotty is one of the best playmakers in the NBA. It has nothing to do with him. The issue with IQ is that he picks his dribble up a little early, which throws off his rim finishing. Yeah, he does. Great observation. He used to do that with us. And shout out to Flea. He swears IQ had some crossover. He still doesn't have one. He barely has one. And yes, he does do the anti-soccer. Like, you got to keep dribbling, bro. Maxey keeps dribbling, and he'll come out. IQ does it sometimes. With us, he did it sometimes. And I know, of course, he's adjusting to you guys' offense and the personnel and everything like that. Yeah. But great observation, man. Scotty does pick up the ball too early. I mean, I'm sorry, IQ does do that. Given he averages 55 games per season, I don't think he will get to 30. Who, Kyrie? One thing I really like about IQ is since being with us, he's shooting like 50% on above the break threes. He always has. I'm gonna tell you like that. That was IQ's thing from when he came to the league. That's the first thing I noticed. There's a game against the Nets that he kept us in the game. I want to say he's like his rookie season or his second year in the league. They kept leaving him open. Like they would just play, sag off of him to like the paint damn near. I'm like, he's about to take 10 shots at the 3-point line. He's about to score 30 from the top of the key. That's always been his theme play. Shoots 50% from above the break threes. That's huge for a spacing from a spacing perspective. Hopefully he'll look better as a finisher with more reps. Finishing is always struggled with. He's gotten better, especially when you'll notice his right hand side off the glass. That's IQ's money move. Right hand side off the glass. Hey, Phoenix Plays E, since you wanted to throw at me, how would you feel if OG went to the Dallas Mavericks, right? Because that was very spicy of you. How would you feel if we signed IQ in the offseason? No, Lowry is done. Yeah, maybe, but don't you want some, somebody there to help us out with playoff experience? We have 0 playoff leadership. Flea, 0 playoff leadership. Lowry is there. Why not? He doesn't have to play. He can be done. He can be done as a 13th man. Put a suit on. Why not be Udonis Haslem? Lowry, before his wrist injury versus Houston, was given 10, 4, and 4, shooting 45, 43, 90 splits. Kyle Lowry, before his wrist injury versus Houston? What do you mean versus Houston? One series? What are they missing if they get healthy? Best defense, 2 all-stars, shooters all around, deep bench. Experience. There's nobody on the Knicks that can tell you what the championship trophy smells like as a player with the jersey on. Nobody. Lowry is still good, man. Sucks is a stretch. He would be a best guard off the bench even at age 53. No, he wouldn't. Damn, wait a minute. If DiVincenzo comes off the bench, I don't know. He wouldn't be the best, though. He might be. No, he wouldn't be. Stop it, Phoenix Plays E. Now you're trying to. I'm getting tired. How dare you? I don't think it hurts to have a Hall of Fame point guard off your bench. I don't think so either. I agree with you with that. That's Flea going crazy. Brunson has been to a conference finals before. Okay, so Brunson, I don't see him being as realized that he just cried because he made the All-Star game. No disrespect. But there are realizations of, I graduated to this level, right? And now I can reflect with my new youngins. This is what we have to look forward to. Calm your tuchus down. He hurt his wrist trying to block Fred VanVleet in December. His shooting fell off since then, and even with that massive slump, he only dropped to 8-3-3 on 42, 39, and 85. Is that what happened to him? Damn. Now Lowry's a Hall of Famer. He's a Toronto Hall of Famer. Be respectful, Flea. Or go at it. I don't care. You guys are all Knicks fans. Knicks will be 2026 NBA champs. Dante has 2 rings. Are you sure about that? I'm not. I don't think so. 2 rings? Maybe 1. Adams, he's a lock, man. Second best player on the title team. 6 All-Stars and a gold medal. Did he go to Villanova also? No, he's a basketball Hall of Famer. Uh-oh. Even Basketball Reference has him at a 90% lock. I like that. Phoenix Plays E. He ain't coming to play no games. Fabian perspective expected, so accept it. Yep, he's a Wildcat. Deja un like, comentario y suscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. Yo, 500 more subscribers. We get to 7,000. What are you guys talking about? We got super chats. We got memberships. I ain't do a Patreon yet because that thing takes 1,000,000 years to do, and I don't understand it. I gotta dip into my geek bag to get really into the game of Patreon. But either way, super chats, memberships, we're in the mix. Merch coming soon. I want to put these cups out for Knicks Rehab. Knicks Rehab, baby. Like it or love it. Do we play tonight? We played last night, right? Hold on. I think we play tomorrow night. We play the Pacers tomorrow. They're looking for revenge, right? The Pacers, and then we go play the Rockets in Houston. That's tough in Houston, man, without being fully healthy. Do we let Brunson chill? Because he got a lot going on in All-Star weekend. And then getting guarded by the Rockets and Magic on that ankle. That'll be tough. What do you guys think? Is that the soft way out? Lowry is in the Chauncey Billups realm. They'll both get in as second ballot guys. That makes sense. Dante has one as a Wildcat and one as a Warrior. Very slick of you. Knicks will be 2026 NBA champs. So he has that experience. That's cool. But it wouldn't hurt. I think if not Kyle Lowry, who in what do you call that? The buyout market. If not Kyle Lowry, who, guys? Fabian perspective, expected, so accepted. I'm out of here. Knicks Rehab. AllBall TV.